Measure 1A is one of 10 new bills pumping $67 million into statewide mental health funding. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News. First, the hotly contested and mildly hated Breckenridge troll was on the agenda for Breckenridge Town Council this afternoon. In October, at least 5 Wellington residents asked council to remove the troll. Council decided then it will not move until spring. A separate report suggests the town's social media presence is growing thanks to the troll. Council might comment on the troll at tonight's regular meeting. It might also approve conditions for the long-awaited city market expansion. The meeting begins 7 p.m. at Town Hall on Ski Hill Road. Local mental health services get $2 million annually from Measure 1A passed by voters last week. Summit is one of 10 counties committing $67 million every year to mental health, and statewide nonprofit Mental Health Colorado helped shape that legislation.
Instead of continuing to ignore mental illness or demonize it or criminalize it or stigmatize it, we can do a better job of preventing it and treating it, which turns out to be a lot cheaper, a lot more effective, and more humane.
That was Andrew Romanoff, CEO for Mental Health Colorado and former Speaker of the Colorado House. His family was devastated by suicide in 2015, and he believes legislation like 1A will help 400,000 state residents who need it.
We want this state to be the national leader in this field. We are not there yet. We're near the middle or bottom of the pack, and by most counts.
Measure 1A can also help the economy and your company's bottom line.
The private sector is paying for this right now. We are losing about $200 billion a year in productivity because of untreated mental illness in the workplace.
Learn more about becoming a mental health advocate or get help in crisis through mentalhealthcolorado.org. This most recent election saw record voter turnout locally and nationally, but independent candidate Nick Thomas says results still might not reflect the people's choice. He believes ranked choice voting is better for state elections by letting voters rank candidates rather than choose one or the other.
With ranked choice voting, it would give libertarians a shot. It would give a Green Party candidate or a Unity Party candidate or whatever party candidate a shot.
Thomas says Aspen tried ranked choice voting in the past, but it failed because it was not used correctly. Telluride has used the system before. Pueblo could use it by 2020. Thomas lost his bid for State House with 5% of the vote. Tonight, Wilderness Sports in Dillon is hosting a free Know Before You Go avalanche awareness course. You'll get basics on Avy safety and forecasting and learn about next steps like taking an Avalanche 1 course. That's Know Before You Go tonight at 6 p.m. at Wilderness Sports. Yesterday, we talked with Frisco's Gary Fondle about skiing 1.5 million vertical feet in 3 years without ever riding a chairlift. All that time in the backcountry means the mayor of Powtown's had his fair share of close calls, but he learns with each one.
The more patient you are, the more you get out there and poke around, you'll know when that day is right to ski that big line.
Hoosier Pass and Dry Gulch near Loveland have slid already this winter, and Fondle has been skiing at both without incident. He says getting home alive depends on patience and respect.
A guy told me a couple years back that it's not what the calendar says, it's what the snowpack says.
Fondle has skied 27,000 vertical feet already this season. Chances are he won't ski anything steeper than 30 degrees until spring. There's a new face on the ice for Summit High boys hockey this season.
They just hired a new coach, be Joey Otsuka. Joey's a great hire, great hockey mind. Good to have him on board.
That was Ren Arbuthnot with Summit Hockey. Otsuka comes from the Crested Butte program and played Canadian hockey for several years before coaching.
I think that Joey's got a great rapport with a lot of these kids, and I think he'll be very successful.
Otsuka inherits a young Tigers team. Their season opener is November 30th against Cheyenne Mountain in Breck. In sports, the Nuggets play the Rockets tonight. Tip-off is 7. The Avalanche are off until tomorrow. And in local sports, brought to you by American Family Insurance, the Weiss Agency, Race 1 of the Rise and Shine Rando Series came to A-Basin this morning on an uphill-downhill course where Cameron Smith finished 5 laps in 1 hour for the men's crown and Sierra Anderson finished 4 laps for the women. Next race in that series is November 27th at 7 a.m. Phil Lindeman, Krystal, 93 News.